Hi everyone and welcome back to Matter for Thought. For this episode I have here the guy who is the perfect combination of smart and funny. Conspiracy Catz, the stage is yours.
In the previous episode we understood what a derivative is and saw a derivative of the trajectory equation, which is a second degree polynomial. Today we will see what happens when multiplying acceleration with a new elementary unit, mass. There's not much to expand on mass, but when you multiply acceleration with mass, you get a new complex unit called force. And the unit in which force is measured is called the Newton. 1 Newton is 1 kilogram times 1 meter divided by 1 second squared. Because mass is a directionless unit, i.e. a scalar, and acceleration is a unit with direction, i.e. a vector, force is also a vector. Force can come in several different forms. I hope we get to all of them later in the series. The best known is of course gravity, but apart from that there is also the force of electric pull or repulsion, a force of magnetic pull or repulsion, an elastic force of a spring or a rubber band, a force of a wire that manages to pull objects, frictional forces and more. Sir Isaac Newton discovered 3 laws about the motion of objects and formulated them in a clear and easy to understand way. These laws were objectively named Newton's laws of motion. And the first of these looks like this. An object at rest will stay at rest and an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by a net external force. This law is a particular case of the second law, which sounds like this. Sigma F equals m times a. That is, that the sum of the forces acting upon a body are equal to the mass of the body times its acceleration. Because this law is an equation, one can go with it in both directions. One can understand what the sum of the forces sigma F is if one knows what the mass m is and measures the acceleration a. And one can also calculate what the acceleration will be if one knows what the mass and the sum of the forces is. The third law was given the name law of action and reaction, and it sounds like this. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is, any force that body A exerts on body B exerts the same force in its magnitude but in the opposite direction. This is why when you pull a thread, you feel pulled to it in some way. In the next episode, we will talk about another type of forces that, although they can be measured, are not really forces.
Thanks, Cece. I'm truly amazed by the great people of this community that are willing to help even small channels like mine. And that's for today, friends. Don't worry if you struggle with this topic, it will be clearer later when we start practicing these laws. Before I wrap things up, I want to thank my patrons. If you find the content good and the cause worthy, a link to my Patreon is in the description. If you liked it, a like and subscribe will be appreciated, and if you want to help me further, share and leave a comment. I was, as always, rndthinker, and I'll see you in the next video.